So good morning, students. In today's class, I'm going to discuss with you the concept behavioral description or behavioral simulation. Till now, I'm using this particular term most of the times. So, what is behavioral simulation? That is important. Uh, After design specification in the previous classes, I'm using this particular term. That once you have with yourself your design specifications, then the next step is behavioral description. So, what is that behavioral description? That I would like to just briefly discuss with you. That's all. So, now what is behavioral description? So, suppose you want to add two four-bit binary numbers. So, in that, you need adder that adds two four-digit inputs and returns an output which is specified as. So, here, this is just a description. So, what is inside your behavioral description? As already discussed with you, that you will try to describe the behavior in some hardware description language. So, this language can be Verilog and it can be VHDL. Any of these two languages can be used. So, I am using Verilog in my description. So, here you can see that a adder is there like this. So two inputs are being defined, input 1 and input 2. Here you can see input 1 and input 2, and it is having some output. So this is just a black box sort of description, that we know that there is a box called adder in which two inputs are being given to it and one output is being taken from this. Now in the next line, we will be describing that input is having 4 digits, or input signal IP1 and IP2 are having 4 bits, 4 digits. So this is being described here in Verilog. Then output is also having 3 digits. So here I am describing the type of number of output bits your output is having. So this is your output signals. After that, I will be describing the behavior. So I'm not describing anything that what's inside this box. I am just describing what is the behavior. So your behavior is output is less than equal to input 1 plus input 2. That's all. I am not describing anything that I am having this number of gates and all. I am just describing the behavior of my device as a block. So here I have described about the overview of the system. Here I have described about the inputs and output, how they are actually being, because the type need to be specified, otherwise there is a type mismatch and you are bounded to get some sort of error. So now here it is being given that IP1 and IP3 are 3 to 0. So I can describe those at 1001. This is your IP1 and 1100. This is your IP2. It can be any value, but number of bits will be same. Then your output is also having 4. But this thing is being overruled, that your output can be 5-bit. So then it need to be described as 4 is to 0. Number of bits are 5. So this is 0-bit, 1, 2, 3, like this. So that we will cover later on. Right now, the emphasis is on how you are actually describing this. So in this, we are not describing anything about the internal circuitry. We are just giving the behavior. So the module is end. So as already discussed with you, that behavioral description does not specify anything about structure of the design. Whether combinational circuits are there, whether sequential elements are used, I am not describing anything. I am just focusing on behavioral description. No mention about structure is there, that what design you are having inside. Now, here I have also not included any sort of timing information. I have not included any sort of timing information. So that's the thing, absence of timing information, that when your input is to be applied, when your output is there, what is the delay, so many other things are there. So now after behavioral description, the next thing is RTL description. Next is RTL description. So RTL stands for register transfer level. That means your design is being split into registers with flow of information between each register at each clock cycle. Here I have not mentioned how your information is going to flow, how your input is coming, how your output is moving. But now, when you are going for RTL description, then you will say that your input is this, output is this, and how it is actually moving. So that need to be described. So here you can see the difference between this code and this code in Verilog. So now this is module, same module is there, but now description is little bit different. So now you will say these are your inputs, these are your output. So now I will be describing this as input C in. Input is C in. So carry in is also being described. Output, because carry is 1 bit, so no need to mention here. By default, it is 1 bit. But if it is more than 1 bit, it need to be described. If it is 2 bit, then it is to be described as 10. If it is 3 bit, 20. If it is 4 bit, 30, and so on. And your output is now 40. Why? Because if carry is there, carry out will be there. So that will be generated here. Then your output is being assigned input 1, input 2 plus carry in. You know that in full adder, we are also going to add some carry from the previous state and also some carry at the output. So this is 3 bit, this is 4 bit, this is 1 bit. So total 5 bit output will be there, and it is being described as 4:0. Here you can see. So we have assigned the output in this particular sequence. So this will end the module. So now here you see that your information is being interfaced, that input is being there from somewhere and output is being assigned this particular thing. Here we just assigning this, but now output is being assigned the input from other stages, and it is actually being passed on to the next block. So that's very important. So here you can see this is not required. Full adder is there. So full adder is having inputs A, B, carry from the previous state, sum and carry out. So this is the black box diagram for your full adder. So we have design is divided into registers, logic blocks that join registers together. So now detailed design flow is like this, that your 4-bit adder is like this. This is for 4th bit, 3rd bit, 2nd bit, and 1st bit. So you can see carry is traveling from here to here. So this entire thing need to be specified when structural flow is being described. And when behavioral is being described, only this block need to be defined. So that's very important. Difference between behavioral and structural domain. So structure means this entire thing need to be defined, that how information is flowing from this point to this point. And when we talk about behavioral description of individual block, we only take care of what are the inputs and what is the output. And in that case, we have not mentioned anything about C in. So structure of flow of data in 4-bit full adder. Now, after that, this need to be implemented using gates. So here you can see this is individual full adder, consists of 2 XOR gates, AND gate, and OR gate. So this is being defined at structural level. And now this is structural description of 1-bit full adder using logic gates. So at the top, this looks like this. When you break it, it will be like this. And when you further break individual block, this will be like this. And if you're interested, then this will be broken down in terms of transistors. So this is how we are talking about behavioral description. So in behavioral description, in the previous slides, you can see this is your behavioral description, that you are just describing the behavior. Here you are describing the structure. So in TEL, what happens? When you define this thing, then you define this thing as behavioral, then structural, and later on, when we called RTL synthesis or logic synthesis, then these gates are being synthesized. This. So this is the flow. That is actually existing. So thank you very much. As far as this behavioral description is being concerned, so this point is missing as far as discussion is being there. Right now, this particular topic is over. Now I will be starting with new topic. But before that, I would like to discuss your doubts.